welcome back to another Talk Time Tuesdays with the Whole Parenting. My name is Louise and I am a mom. I am also a family and child development consultant with an emphasis on the psychodynamics of human development. Now we're moving into what for many of us is the most wonderful time of the year. Whether you are celebrating Kwanzaa, whether you're waiting patiently for Christmas to come along, whether you are celebrating Hanukkah, or whether you are just waiting for the time when everybody goes on pause so that you get a chance to just sit and relax and spend some time with your loved ones. We are all moving into a festive season. What is the most festive season of the year for most people? But this year, it comes with some challenges. 2020 has thrown us into a tailspin, and so what's on most of our minds is, how am I going to survive this 2020 holiday season? So let's discuss some ways that we can help to make this holiday season a bit more bearable for us and our children. And the first thing I'd like to touch on is the fact that we need to make plans. So I think a lot of us are in a bit of a limbo space in that we are either in lockdown and waiting for lockdown to be lifted, or we are expecting a tier system, or we are expecting that we may go into lockdown. There are so many unpredictable things happening right now, and we don't quite know whether we will be able to meet up with our loved ones as we normally do. I think some of us are even waiting on COVID-19 tests to come back so we know whether we can meet up with our parents, grandparents, siblings, and their families. My advice to you is go ahead and make those plans. It's important that children have some type of predictability at this point in time, because in a time when everything is unpredictable and constantly changing, children need some sense of knowing. They need to know what's happening next, and they won't know everything, but if we can give them something, it helps to minimize their disappointments and helps to prepare them for what's going to happen. So my advice is make those plans now and give them some sense of predictability. So moving right along from making plans and predictability is my next suggestion, which is ensure that your children are involved in whatever plans that you're making. So when you sit down as a family, I'm not talking about every nitty-gritty, but I'm talking about some of the major plans. Ensure that your children have some amount of input in it. It will ensure that they have some sense of control in a world that is constantly changing. My next suggestion is to always be gentle and kind. There will be disappointment because normal traditional things that you would do around Christmas, you may not be able to do them this year. Out of these disappointments, you may have changes in behaviors, difficult feelings arising in your children. And the best way to deal with these difficult behaviors, difficult feelings in your children is to respond with empathy and kindness in as gentle a way as possible. It will help them to know that you care, and it will reduce the intensity of those difficult feelings that they have. My next suggestion is to begin new family traditions. So the normal family traditions that you would have under normal circumstances outside of 2020, you may not be able to have all of them this year. And so as a result, it's important that we try to begin new things that will replicate similar feelings or similar results to the traditions that we would have, to the traditions that we would have normally participated in. Family traditions help to create a sense of belonging. It helps to create a sense of security. It helps to create a strong connection with family members. And so you want to have family traditions especially around the holiday times. There are several different things that you can do. I mean, you can do things that are more elaborate, or you can do things that are a lot more low key. What you want to be generating is a sense of comfort, a sense of coziness, a sense of connection, and a sense of festivity. So, for instance, if you don't normally have a special Christmas breakfast because you're generally rushing around trying to either get ready to go out to wherever um, Christmas dinner is being hosted that year, or you yourself are the host for Christmas dinner, this year you very likely will not have that problem. So sitting down and having a lovely special Christmas breakfast could make a wealth of difference to this year's holiday celebration. Another thing that goes along with not having to rush around is you can now get everyone, including younger kids, involved in the preparation of the meal. I'm sure there is something that could be fun and exciting for everybody in the family. Everybody doesn't need to be over the cooker. Some people can do the chopping up. Some people you can decide to chop things in different shapes just to make it a bit more fun. You don't have to have the house spick and span this year because you don't have anybody else coming over. So it's okay to make a bit of a mess, and to allow the kids to get involved in cooking. Make handcrafted decorations. I remember doing this quite a bit as a child, making particularly strong in my memory is making paper chains. And I think that this is a lovely thing. It will take a bit of time, it might make a bit of mess, but it's fun. So paper craft, clay craft, whatever it is that you fancy and that your family might get into a little bit more, just something that is fun and warming and will leave a lasting memory for you and your kids. If you usually use your advent calendars, try to make it a little bit, try to put a little bit more oomph into your advent calendars this year. Get your kids involved. Kids are so creative and they have so many fun ideas. Get the kids involved. Ask them, what can we do that's new? This year, I've asked my family to put together a list of new things that we can do this Christmas, because this Christmas is going to be different. And we are voting on the best, and obviously we're gonna have to include stuff from the kids to be one of the best, so that the kids will be really involved. I'm really looking forward to it actually, and to see what everybody has as the new tradition that we will try this year. And so try it. Get your kids involved in doing in choosing what the new tradition will be. Another idea is to hide a special Christmas ornament on the tree. I know there's a traditional hiding of the gherkin on the tree. It doesn't have to be a gherkin. It could be anything. It could be something that you made, something special. Do a special family scavenger hunt on Christmas, a Christmas scavenger hunt to find Christmas themed things around the house. Do a Christmas treasure hunt where everybody gets their stocking at the end, instead of having the stockings hanging on the, wherever you hang your stockings, on the mantle. Spice things up and change things up a bit just to lift spirits and make things feel special. Now, on these cold and dark days, particularly if you're living in temperate regions when the sun sets really early and it's very cold, a hot cup of cocoa is good for the soul and good for the body because it's warming and comforting. Why not try making a cup of hot cocoa in a different way? That's just for your family special. You might add different ingredients, add different spices, something else that makes it more Christmassy, and it could be a new tradition that you start with your family. That's not for the rest of the year, but just for Christmas. It's very unlikely that any of us are going to get to see any Christmas tree lighting in our cities this year, except it's on television. Why not use this opportunity to start a new Christmas tree lighting tradition in your home? Turn the entire thing into a ceremony. Some of you have already done it, put your Christmas tree up, but for those of you who haven't yet put your tree up, try to make a big deal out of the start of it. A ceremony, sort of, to begin a new tradition so that it feels far more festive this year than ever before. Like I said, whatever you do, you want it to replicate the sense of coziness, of comfort, of festivity, of family, of love. And even if it's something quite simple or something quite elaborate, if you're getting that feeling from whatever it is that you're doing, you are winning. Now go out there, actually stay in there, and have a beautiful holiday season with love, with light, with festivity, with peace. Have a lovely week and see you next Tuesday.